All right, boys. Welcome to the frying pan. Stags, I'll let you introduce the hero to the frying pan, kind of save the pod tonight.
Huge hero today. I would say one of the front runners for MVP.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the best players in the league. And now a hero to the frying pan.
Yeah.
Let's welcome him in.
No. F it.
Mark Clark.
Down there somewhere.
Hey, safe to say I'm the biggest, the largest. Been stepping on shit since my mama stayed in them apartments. Regardless, my daddy told me keep the heat even when I'm in foreigns. I'm heartless, cause he niggas.
Welcome, Mark.
What's up?
Mark, glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thanks for saving the pod, dude.
Of course.
It's huge.
I mean, I'm close. Might as well stop by and help out.
Drink a couple beers while you're at it.
Exactly.
Yeah, we had to call an audible. We did have two guests drop out for, some pretty solid reasons. I know Klanke wants us to make fun of them,
Yeah,
but
I don't think it's
I don't think it's right. I've heard the reasoning, and I feel it's best that we keep it quiet for them. It's understandable.
we'll give them a pass this time.
Yep.
But first segment, we'd like to have 7 minutes in hell. We've let all of our guests have it. Kind of just going to hand the mic over to Mark, give him about 7 minutes to say anything he's got on his mind.
just unleash.
All right. I'll start off by saying my team did not look very good this week. I was really confident we were going to win at least one. No disrespect to the Knights, but I definitely felt that was a game we should have won. And we actually ended up losing worse to the Knights than we did to the Barons, who I thought, no disrespect again, was the better team. We were in that game with the Barons, and I mean, we had a bunch of close plays and could have gone one way or another. Ended up losing that one. I was hopeful for the Knights, and then I saw how gassed my team was and lost a lot of hope there. And as you probably saw in some of the film, I apologize to my teammates. I did get very frustrated, but I bet it's understandable to some. I'm not necessarily mad at the team. It's just I wish some things could have been different. Obviously, we've talked about the draft before, and I wish things could have gone different in the draft, but I'm here now. I've talked with AJ about it because he said he doesn't want to see me like that, and it's just the hand I was dealt was what I told him, so there's nothing I can really do. Other than that, I mean, I don't have necessarily anything bad to say. I don't like talking down on people. I'm trying to be a good guy. I'm looking
Mark's
for
the good guy.
I'm trying to be the man of the year, not the scumbag of the year.
The Feelers need that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
They got plenty of scumbags.
They need someone to be level-headed to, kind of even keel the things. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I feel that we can compete this week. We actually do have a sub coming in. His name's Antonio. He's a good friend of mine. He's going to be subbing at tight end for Brandon. He's probably about 6'1", bigger guy, probably like 230, so tight end size. I don't know how he is receiving. He's usually, when we were playing games growing up, he was always the quarterback, so I don't know how he is as a tight end. It could be a shot in the foot. He could suck ass out there. Who knows? But it's probably better than Brandon.
Could be better than Brandon. Brandon's hurt. Do you know?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the full details of it. I'm sure it's probably related to the cramps that he was having. He's probably just really sore still. But I know he also does work every other weekend, so that could also be part of it as well.
So I'm confused. Is he hurt or does he have to work? Or is it both? Or
It might be a little bit of both.
Okay.
Because, I mean, first thing I heard was hurt. Then I heard he has work. Yeah. And then I heard he's only going to be there every so often because of work. So it's probably more work, but I don't know.
Guys got to figure it out.
Also, I'll say one more thing. I kind of told AJ earlier in the week I wasn't sure if I was going to be playing this week because after that second game, I was definitely a little banged up. I'm feeling a lot better now, so I feel I should be able to play this weekend. But I told him I was questionable at first because my ribs and shoulder were both hurting bad after that.
So Mark's probable this week.
Oh, yeah, probable.
Cool.
Now, I would say if you had to sit out a game, this would be the one to sit out.
And that's what I kind of mentioned to him. I kind of said it to AJ. I was like, well, I'm already going to be missing the next 2 weeks for my trip, so I won't be there the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, so do I risk going out there and probably getting our ass beat, I mean, that's the sad truth of it, but we're playing the best team in the league. And I was like, if it's bothering me at all, then I won't go out there. But as of right now, I feel I'll be good to play.
And I wouldn't blame you for sitting out because I mistakenly thought that my team was playing the Cougs this week. And Tommy's still kind of questionable. I told Tommy, I said, hey, if we're playing the Cougs, just sit out. Because probably not going to win with you, probably not going to win without you. So I'd rather him be healthy for the games that we can win.
Yeah.
So I would understand the logic behind it. Sadly, the Cougs are that good. But
We are.
yeah, they might be that good. I mean, you saw them this week without weapons, but I'm curious to what the Feelers will look like without Mark.
I think Mark carries the whole team. I don't know if they should show up, to be honest.
I mean,
Without Mark, you don't have passing touchdowns and you don't have receiving touchdowns, so who's scoring for that team? I know Connor had 3 touchdowns this week, but did you throw him the ball?
I threw him a couple of them, yes. Yep. I know Charlie did throw one to him at the end.
Okay.
But yeah, and I'm wondering who will sub for me. I wonder if they'll have AJ sub, and I wonder if AJ subs will he be receiver or quarterback. I don't know what's going to be allowed and what's
That's a
not going
good
to be allowed.
I think if AJ subs for you, he can do the same shit you do, where it's
Yeah.
situational. Like you
Okay.
can play both
Okay.
because you play both for the team. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think that would be fair.
Mhm.
I don't know. You might. I'm sure you probably play us sometime in that time frame.
Yeah, we do. I believe we played you guys again, and then we played the Straw Hats. I think is the other game.
Okay.
I believe. I'll miss 2 weeks because I leave next Friday and we'll be back to the following Sunday night.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I think AJ would be a good comp for you. I mean, the best we can do.
Yeah, as close as like size and
Yeah.
speed and
Yeah.
playing 2 positions
Mhm.
and get. AJ looked pretty good at wide receiver.
Or you had a good week.
All right, so let's cover last week's game. So the first game I got here is Feelers Barons. If you got anything to speak on for that game.
I'll kind of start off and say, first, that rain delay we had for a little bit there, that was not fun. That sucked. And after that, I don't know, we were tied up at that point, and from that point on, I don't think we scored again.
Wow. Okay.
We were in it the whole game, and again, it losing by 1 score. And I was talking with you guys a little bit before, and like I said, I did make a key mistake, and I'll wear that on my chest. I overthrew Connor on a big 4th down where we just needed a few yards, and I tried to get more throwing it downfield and overthrew him. So yeah, I feel we definitely could have won that game, but I'm not mad at my guys for that game.
Yeah, I think the Barons have impressed. I mean, they're second in the league right now, so I think you guys were a good tester game for them.
Mhm.
Obviously, like playing the Cougs it's hard to evaluate talent, but that was a good game for them. Saw a lot out of them. Something I'd like to touch on is the numbers Dave's putting up right now. I don't think Dave's getting a lot of attention, but I believe he's in top 5 in yards, touchdowns, and like yards per game as a tight end. So
Yeah, he's
very
definitely
impressive.
He's definitely shown out, and I mean, he called a shot at the beginning of the year, and he's shown us why. So there was a lot of talk around, can Nick be that guy? He's quick, he's agile, can't catch really. Still to show, can't catch that well. Then you have Dan coming in, a big unknown, but Davis, he's still the top guy.
Yeah, Dave's still that guy. I mean, like you said, he was tight end 1 last year. Thought he was gonna be tight end 1 again this year, and so far he's looked like it. Not only tight end 1, but he's creeping into like top 3 to top 5 tight ends and wide receivers.
Just a great
Just a
weapon.
receiver in general, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's amazing to have him as a weapon because, I mean, you look at some of the other guys that are going up against him, and for his size, he moves very well. And, I mean, I feel like he could even do well against certain, like, guys like me. Like, I feel like other receivers, he could even, can compete with them as well. And obviously with the tight end, he has that advantage.
Yeah, great hands, great route runner.
Yep.
Putting up numbers from the tight end position. So doing exactly what he said he would do.
Yeah, and we talked earlier and Mark said that the Feelers were looking to take Dave in the first round. Ended up not falling to you guys, but I mean that would be a totally different team with Dave
Oh
on
my
our team.
goodness, yeah.
So.
Way different team.
All right, next matchup we got Feelers versus Knights.
You can take that one since
That-
we talked about the first one.
That was a fun one. Probably, yeah, for me because we won, but probably the most heated game in RFL history.
Oh, yeah.
I know you weren't there, but it was
It was
It was
very tense.
tense.
It was very tense, yes.
It was. There wasn't like a lot of shit talk. It was more just like both our teams were complaining about the refs or complaining about
Situations.
shit going on in the game. Like, but it was just very tense. There wasn't like a lot of shit talk besides maybe like a little AJ and Brandon. The main shit talk going on was Tommy behind the camera and Brandon during the game, which you could speak to both of them on that. Tommy probably shouldn't be chirping when you're not on the field. You're behind the camera. Brandon, you probably shouldn't be talking to a guy who's not playing. And I know Coyle said something to him about Brandon, like, just stop responding to him. That's what they want. And, Tommy's calling Brandon a fat ass and shit like that, which is funny. But, Brandon called Tommy a pussy and said he's got to get on the field, which I respect. Even though Tommy's on my team, if you're going to talk that shit, you got to be on the field to back it up.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
When if you're going to talk, you got to be able to take it as well. You can't just expect it to go one way and
exactly.
think it's not going to come back at you.
Yeah, I know Brandon was pretty pissed off at the refs. So, him and Dave were getting into it about some pass interference calls, which I will say, I don't know if that first one on Nick was pass interference.
I don't quite remember that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was,
That's what I told Brandon. I was like, I don't think that was pass interference.
Well, it's like the same thing as what happened with the Hail Mary to me. Like,
Yeah.
that ball probably wasn't catchable. Did you shove me before
Yes.
I went up to jump? Yes.
Yeah.
But do I think it was necessarily catchable?
Yeah.
No.
That's pretty much what I said. I was like, I pass interfered Mark, but the ball's uncatchable. Like, it was 10 feet over his head, and Logan was right there, and that's kind of what he said.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not shying away from it. I did push you. I was fucking doing whatever I could to stop you. I was like, I don't know if anyone's figured out how to stop Mark yet. So, I was like, I don't know if I can try to, push off and, jump. I don't know. But, Charlie's got to put it a little bit closer. Maybe you get the call. Because I think Logan probably would have called it if it would have been, even if you got a hand on or close. And then we had, at least the refs did call kind of the same call. So it was like a face guarding.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brandon was like this and didn't turn around on Nick.
Yeah.
And
Was he in contact with him?
He wasn't in contact with him.
Okay.
But it was more of like so Nick was trying to come to the ball. Basically, you have to give him a chance to come to the ball is what our argument was. And so he just kind of went at him and didn't really give him the chance to come back to the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same thing happened first play of the second half.
Right.
And so we just basically just called it again because Tanner did the same thing.
Yeah.
I threw it up. Tanner just didn't look, just went like this straight on him.
Yeah. It's one of those plays where it's unfortunate because the quarterback obviously didn't make a great throw, where it's a little underthrown and Nick's coming back to the ball.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if Brandon just turns his head, it's probably a pick.
But I will say, good job on the refs because they called it consistently. They called it both ways because Tanner came out and did it the first play of the second half.
Okay.
Same kind of thing, face guarding. He didn't really contact him, but he just didn't turn around. So they were consistent with that call. They called it each once on each team. So I thought the refs did a good job. It was just Sunday was kind of a shit show. All in all, it was raining. We had the tent set up. Guys are scrambling. Phones dying, trying to record. Not the finest moment in the RFL, but it was a very tense game, and it was fun. It was competitive. Obviously, being on the losing side is not fun.
Yeah.
But when games get that competitive and you do win, it's fun. So I'd like to see that more going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Final game, we got the Straw Hats and Cougs. I know you weren't there.
I'll touch on it a little bit.
Okay.
I want to say there was a lot of controversy. Will the Cougs still be good without me on the field? Is AJ still good without a weapon? Because we haven't seen that yet. It's either he has me or he has me and Grant. He's got me and Dan. So, is AJ that good? Yeah, he's that good. So, it doesn't matter who's on the field. Hats got their ass kicked. What more can you say?
Yeah, I did pick against the Cougs. Kind of picking from my heart more than my head. But I thought Dan wasn't going to be there.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think that would have changed it because AJ fed Dan. He had
152 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think he had 15 catches, 152 touchdowns, monster day. He was cooking Marcus up and down the field. AJ was making great throws. I know at one point I was standing behind him. I looked down and said, dude, that was gross. He's throwing ropes through the wind.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to make fun of the commissioner, but you also got to give him props.
Yeah. Nobody does, though.
Oh,
you guys do.
I always do.
But the other ass clowns in the league don't.
Right. A lot of ass clowns, a lot of goblins in the league that like to pick at commish.
Well, I feel like some are just trying to be that one that gets in his head and maybe makes him mess up somehow. But unfortunately,
it's not working.
We say it all the time. Some guys you can get in their head, but some guys it just fuels them.
Yeah.
AJ is one of those guys where you talk shit, it just fuels him. Yeah. He wants it more.
Yeah, I almost overly abuse the compliments sometimes, just to get a little laugh out.
Yeah.
That way he makes a bad throw. I'm oh, all right.
Get him to take his guard down a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I think. Honestly, I don't remember that game super well, but I know AJ said he kind of locked down Alex.
Yeah, I did.
From what I heard, and I don't remember him having a lot of big plays, which is very impressive because Alex is fucking really hard to guard.
Yeah.
I guarded him 2 weeks ago and he was cooking me. So
fast as hell.
Fast as hell. Change of direction's insane. So if you can guard him, kudos to you. I think Noah Smith had a good game. Maybe a couple touchdowns. I'm not exactly sure, but I know he was playing hurt, so it's kind of impressive that he did what he could in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Still kind of waiting for Marcus's breakout game.
Yeah.
I know some people are calling it maybe this week. They play us.
Yeah, I think the more Andrew gets in his head that, Marcus is reliable as a tight end, maybe he'll start getting fed more. Maybe he will get that opportunity to break out. But right now, I think Andrew still has some trust issues with this tight end.
Yeah, well, I feel that sometimes, Marcus, like, he's giving it all, his all out there. Like, he's doing his best every time. You don't have to question that with him. And, I mean, I'll never forget, I've said this probably 5 times now, just that one play when they threw a bullet, like 8 seconds left in the half. If he drops his ball, it's going way past him, and the time's running out in halftime. He catches the ball, gets ready, snaps it, and they get a touchdown on the play. That's probably my favorite play of the year. And it's not even something you see on the stat sheet.
Yeah.
I mean, Marcus, could he be called the most clutch player in the RFL? Because
in that drive, yeah.
Every time I remember Marcus really showing up and starting to make plays, it's late in the games. He's making impact catches. Like against you guys, he was driving down the field, and then against someone else I can't remember, but maybe it was the Barons, but he was making the big plays at the end of the game. That's when Marcus shows up. When it's crunch time, he's locking in.
Yeah.
So if you can get that out of him the whole game, could be a different player.
Yeah, and there's no denying that he's gotten better every game, and think about how he was last year to this year.
You can see the difference.
It's night and day. Yeah,
I would say I think almost everyone's gotten better. I think the level has gotten up. A lot of guys were putting in work in the off season, really trying to show what they got.
A lot of guys bought in.
Yeah, definitely. I would say Luke's had some drop issues, but this week I think he looked pretty good. Definitely bobbled some passes, but still came down with them. And I actually think he's been putting up pretty solid numbers. Yeah. I can't remember if it was this week or last week, but I think it was last week. He had a 3-touchdown game. Yeah,
I will say I see Connor at the gym every week, so I know he's putting in the work for sure.
Yeah. He's trying to get after the MILFs.
He's the MILF hunter.
He's in the lab.
Yeah, I mean that's the place to be,
right? If
you're looking. So
there's plenty up at Beachmont Rack and Fitness.
Yeah,
they got the rack.
They
got the rack part down. All right, next segment, we got Beef of the Week, presented by Jack Links.
Feed your wild side.
That's right. So for the first beef, we got Brandon versus Tommy. Kind of covered that one already, chirping back and forth. Brandon talking about Tommy not being healthy. Tommy calling Brandon a fat ass. He gets a lot of that. And then I know they were going back and forth in the group chat a little bit. Somebody on the surveys really shit on Tommy, and I'm still curious to who it was, because I don't think it was Brandon, actually.
Yeah.
I think Brandon would admit if it was him.
I think so, too.
But someone came out and said, there was 5 questions, but they had, Tommy is the overrated player of the week, which he didn't play, so I don't know how he's overrated. Hot take was, Tommy's straight ass. And then I think they put Tommy for the smallest nuts in the RFL. They just put Tommy for everything.
Yeah, straight for the neck.
So yeah, hey, if that was you should come out and say it, because it'd be entertaining. We'd love to see it.
That's a new beef of the week, but it's on them. It's Tommy versus somebody.
Tommy versus Anonymous. Yeah. Got any ideas who it could be? If you had to say.
I mean, again, I think all of our first guests would be Brandon, but again, I also agree. I think Brandon would come out and say it. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Do you have anybody?
I mean, I think one that could be sneakily, could have just done it out of trying to start something is Klanke. I feel like Klanke always tries to get a little something cooking up in there.
I can see Andrew. Andrew was active in the chat.
Yeah.
He was constantly, every time we said something about Tommy, he would
stop.
He would stop and he would say something and kind of instigate it and put it on somebody else.
Yeah. He also did in the early RFL preseason. He did tell Tommy to kill himself in the group chat.
Wow. That is true.
So there may have been a little bit of beef, simmering in there.
Yeah. He could be fired up.
Hey, maybe he's been holding that back.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll never know.
He's waiting for the right time.
Yeah. I'd like to see it come out on the field. I mean, we play. If it was Andrew or someone on the Straw Hats, we play him this week. Or if it was someone on the Barons, if it was Klanke, we play them this week. So I'd like to see it come out on the field.
Yeah.
Next for the second beef of the week, we have Steigs versus Feelers.
Yeah.
If you want to speak to that one.
Mark, I'm sorry, but I fucking hate the Feelers right now. There's so much shit stirring with, the Feelers need somebody to get traded for them to be better. I think they should stop bitching. I'm kind of tired of it. They want Zach from my team. I want to say, fuck off. You're not getting Zachy. He's one of my favorite players. You guys want to bring in new players? That's bullshit. Just learn how to win. Learn how to win by yourself. That's my thought.
So my counter to that is, I talked with AJ about it, and I personally am just accepting my fate.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's not you, but it's everybody else is bitching about it.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love some help.
For sure.
I could sit there and pray every night for some help, and I mean, I probably won't get it, but you know, like I said, I feel that, you know, I'm doing all I can. Maybe something just sparks with somebody else so we can win a couple games. Obviously, with Brandon being out, some are going to get a little bit of a different sight. We're going to see Antonio play. Maybe that's a different spark or something like that.
It could be. You guys got existing chemistry there. You might.
It could be something.
I think he could potentially be a big upgrade. I mean, I haven't seen him in a minute, but I feel like he could be a faster tight end, maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while, but I think that could be some of the help you guys are looking for.
Yeah.
My main stance on the matter was I'm okay with you guys getting a little bit of help, but I just didn't want you guys to get too much help because I don't want to penalize teams like the Barons or the Straw Hats or us. Like, we shouldn't be penalized for Charlie drafting a bad team. That was just my whole take. I do think you guys should get a little bit of help just to make it more competitive. But I also don't think you guys are that bad.
I don't think
that you need
we were
rescue.
in both games. It's not like we got blown out. You know?
Right. Our game kind of took a turn, but like the first half was very close.
Yes.
But I think just a little bit of help, like Antonio, could go a long way for you guys. That's
so too.
what I was trying to tell AJ was I think with just a little bit of help. I mean, all of your guys' games have been close, besides the Cougs, but that's everybody. So I think, you know, give it a couple more weeks. You guys will pick up wins here and there.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's still competitive between the other 4 teams besides the Cougs. Like, anyone can win any given week. Like you said, it came down to like last minute versus the Barons. You guys have already beat the Straw Hats.
Yeah.
With us, the game was very close, like all throughout the first half. So,
I'll say something else about like the Cougs as well. Like, I feel that they are the best team, but I don't think any team in this league is unbeatable. Like, I feel like it's definitely like obviously you need a good game. You can't get away with petty mistakes. You can't have those 2 or 3 interception games and think you're gonna win.
Right.
You got to have a clean game. You got to put some things together. Put some good drives together, or even just have some good defensive stops, because not many teams have been able to stop them.
no.
So it's just, I mean, it's easier said than done, but I don't think it's impossible.
I think I'll believe that when we have a close game. When someone puts a close game against us, that's when we'll be like, okay, like we are beatable. That's just me, like just.
Like maybe,
that's how I feel, honestly.
Maybe last year's Steelers.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's probably the closest game you guys have had.
In the Super Bowl, when we came back.
I would agree.
That was a fun team to be on. I escaped the Feelers. That was a solid team. I think that team will be good this year.
I think so too.
I will say Charlie's a class guy. He kept it classy the whole game. He was guarding me, and you know, he's bitching about his team, but he never like crossed the line. He was very respectful even after the game. You know, I think Charlie's a good guy. Maybe doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah. But again, like we talked about, if Antonio comes out and he's a damn good tight end, that could change the Steelers completely. So
I hope he is.
I do too.
And I think he could be.
It'd be good for the league.
If anybody here hopes, it's me, because that's just the one thing I've been begging for, is just someone have like a breakout game. That way, I can, you know, see something else in somebody else.
Right.
So if he is good, what do you do about Brandon? Like, Brandon's availability is, I can be there every other week. You tell him to fucking eat shit? Kick the curb to him, or what? You say he can be a cheerleader, be on the sideline, come in if we need him?
That's not my call to make. That's the GM's call to make.
Okay.
I think I know what Charlie would do.
I think I do too.
I believe I do too. So I'll leave that to GM Charlie. I'll keep my answer to myself.
Now, I will speak to Antonio. I've never played football with him, but I played basketball with him. So I think the big question mark is effort on defense.
It's a very good point. He was never good at defense in basketball, and so I'm very worried what it's gonna be like, and I'm also worried about the conditioning. But I know he has been working out, so I don't know if that's gonna help with conditioning. I know he's been working out recently, and so hopefully that helps with the conditioning. I don't know. I mean, do I question his defense? Yeah, that was the first thing I thought of when I asked him to sub. I was like, oh god, he's gonna get cooked on defense, and I'm like,
it's gotta be better than Brandon though, right?
I hope.
Brandon hasn't been too horrible. I don't think he's been
Defensively though, like
he did all right last week against us. I mean, I can't speak to every game, but
I think Brandon's effort is there. I think he wants it.
he's doing what he can.
Yeah.
The back-to-back is tough. I mean, the back-to-back's tough on
100%.
me, so I can imagine like
Tough on
being
everybody.
Brandon. He's a big guy. Like 2 games, like
Back-to-back's
400
tough.
pounds is
Yeah.
that's asking a lot. So, all right, we got upcoming matchups. Or no, wait, hang on. Final beef of the week, if you want to cover it, we got Mark versus the Feelers. Because I was just kind of going off of after the game last week. That was Mark versus the Feelers.
I don't say I have any beef within the team. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm more just frustrated because everybody hates to lose. I mean,
Sure.
We're playing in a little fun Sunday league. I hate losing just as much as I would if I was playing school basketball still.
Right.
I hate losing more than I like winning.
Yeah.
100%.
That's the mark of a champion or a good player is when you hate losing that much. I get it. You're just competitive. I'm the same.
Yeah.
My team was 0-2, and it was eating at me.
Yeah. But I feel, like I said, I was more frustration because I know we should have at least won one of those games. Like, we were in both of them, and it collapsed right in our faces. And, I mean, I remember, like, I was walking off the field and just, like, plays were flashing back in my head, like, oh, this went different, or if we had a better ball here, or if I did this, or if someone else did that, who knows what would happen.
Right. All right, well, I think that covers it for Beast. We got upcoming matchups. I'll let you guys cover. We got Feelers versus Cougs.
Yep. Again, I think Tone's a big question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Can he cover Dan? Can he cook Dan on defense? I think Dan's been on the better tight ends. He's been a little less effective on defense, but offensively, like Dan's been eating. Again, not much to say. I'd like to see a competitive game, but I don't know. I don't know if you guys have that in you.
Well, I mean, I feel like Tone is going to be the big X factor of this game. What he does, offensively and defensively, can make a big difference. Now, obviously, you guys have you and Logan as well. We got to find a way to, guard both you guys. And that was where we struggled the first time we played you guys. I was trying to find a happy medium, and I remember one time I tried to man you up and almost fell to the ground. So I know
it's not on tape, unfortunately.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Yeah,
because I did stumble. I will say that. And I might try again, but if I get cooked, I get cooked, and I apologize to my teammates.
I mean, I think if anyone's going to guard me, it should be you.
Yeah.
Nobody else can guard me.
Maybe I need to invest in some cleats. Maybe,
Me too.
Yeah, that would be nice.
AJ's supposed to send me a link to cleats, but he hasn't. So he's not really looking out for his teammate, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Then Knights have the doubleheader this week. Knights versus Barons. I really don't know on this one. It's gonna be Tommy's first game coming back from injury. Barons have looked good, but I think we'll beat them. Obviously, I'm biased. I mean, I have to say that. I'm not gonna come out and say that I think the Barons will beat us, but I think our key is kind of just gonna be stopping Dave.
I got a hot take. I think Knights win by 2 touchdowns and Nick locks Dave down. That's your key to victory. I think Nick can get it done. That's my thought. I think if anyone's physical enough to compete with Dave, it's going to be Nick.
That's 100%.
Nick's quick enough. Is he physical enough? Absolutely. I think he's one of the most physical tight ends in the league. I think that's Dave's weakness. If he gets someone else physical, I think Nick's going to lock him down.
I think Dave's the number one threat. That's who would worry me. I know Nick's a great defensive tight end, so maybe I don't have to worry. But like I said, Dave's been a top 3 to 5 just player in this league so far. So I think that gives us something to worry about.
Oh, there he is. Great game, man. Let's go get a win! This year's MVP goes to Jake.
Take steroids and eventually everyone will see you for what you really are. A fake, a fraud, an asterisk. Don't be an asterisk.
Alright guys, welcome back. A little bit of technical difficulties there. Stike's got a phone call from his steroid dealer.
Yep.
Big shipment coming in for this week's game.
He's locked in.
Anyways, so we're going to cover the Knights versus the Barons matchup. I don't really know about this one. I'm going to take the Knights. Obviously, that's my team. I'm biased. I think we looked good last week. This is our first time playing the Barons, so kind of a tester game. Our main concern right now is with Dave.
Yeah. I kind of got a hot take on that one. I'm thinking Knights by 2 scores, and Nick locks Dave down this week. I think that's your key to success, and I think I foresee it.
I mean, that would be ideal. I would love for Nick to shut Dave down. Obviously, Nick's one of the better defensive tight ends.
I think he's the one guy that can man up against Dave and be physical with him, whereas all the other tight ends aren't physical enough, and Dave kind of bullies him around.
I don't think any tight ends had a big day on Nick really yet. Even Dan, he did good, but you guys put up a shit ton of points. But I think Nick's probably been the best defensive tight end so far, which is what we thought going into the season.
And just kind of picking your brain outside of Dave, what are your plan for the matchups? Like, who do you plan on having guard who in that game?
So we'll probably have...
Is Tommy playing?
Tommy's going to play, as far as we know. See if he nuts up or not. So we're going to have Tommy on Seth. We will have Tanner on Klanke. Holman on Luke, and then I'll play safety.
So,
It could be scary with Luke coming off a big week. Can he put up those numbers again against Holman?
No.
But Holman is reigning defensive player of the week, so that's...
Holman's starting to lock in on defense. He had a rough week against Preston a couple weeks ago, but
you guys need that.
Last week he started to come into his own.
Yeah.
He was hitting some Ed Reed sellies after picks. I think he's really buying into his defensive role. So I think that's how we'll match up. Fucking stop, dude. My cat's going fucking insane under here. But yeah, I think that's the matchups we'll start with. Probably shade a little double team towards Dave.
Yeah.
If Nick needs the help, he might not. But dude, Dave's been, like I said, top 5 player this far. You gotta give him the respect he deserves.
Mm-hmm.
Final matchup, we got the Knights versus the Straw Hats. We saw this one a couple weeks ago. Probably the least legitimate game. If you're evaluating the teams in their matchup, we had Scarzy.
Safe to say the Knights are looking for some revenge.
Yeah, I think really just comes down to is if we can cover Alex, because he cooked us last time. He's fast as shit. So if we have to key in on someone, it's gonna be Alex in that game.
When I feel if Tommy's healthy, I feel like he can definitely help with that. From what I've seen in the preseason game, he seemed to keep up pretty well, and I know with betting against you guys, and he did well keeping up with me in the times he guarded me.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm obviously gonna take the Knights in both those games, but the Straw Hats have looked good. Can they beat us without Scarzy? We'll see.
Yeah. Are you more scared of the Barons or the Hats? Because I'm statistically you're more scared of the Barons, but are you really?
No, I'm more worried about the Straw Hats, honestly. Just the speed, between Noah and Alex, I think they have a lot more speed than the Barons. I think we match up well with the Barons. The Barons' strength is Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Our strength on defense is Nick. So we're kind of going strength for strength, and kind of something that has hurt us on defense has been speed, and I think the Barons are kind of lacking speed compared to the Straw Hats or the Cougs.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I would say I'm more worried about the Straw Hats. So
what's your plan for Alex?
I don't know. Gotta figure something out. That dude's a fucking nightmare to guard. I guarded him and he was cooking me.
Yeah.
So I probably won't be guarding him this week. I'll probably be playing safety.
Yeah. Maybe Holman can bounce back, and after that defensive player of the week, maybe you put him on there. I don't know.
I think it would be a big difference having safety help, because we had Scar playing safety against him last time, and I don't know if he knew where he was at.
Yeah.
So
I think it is exciting. It is your first doubleheader matchup, and you finally have your full team together.
Yeah.
A lot to look forward to.
I think if we can make it out of the weekend with 1 win, I would be happy. 2 wins, I'd be ecstatic. If we go in 2, it's going to be it's really going to condemn our season.
Yeah.
I could foresee 1 win for you guys. I just hope the same thing has happened to you guys happen to us, where you bust your ass in the first game. Whatever happens. Say you win, say you lose. I just hope that doesn't affect the second game.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have guys drained out there, because that's what killed us against you guys. And it was fresh guys against half bodies out there. Right, you're trying our best, but
it's honestly, you're going to be a little gassed.
Yeah.
Back-to-back games is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal.
Yep.
So
What I will say, I think first half of the second game, it's an advantage to play the doubleheader. Because when I go into the games at the beginning and like I never have time to stretch or run around before my games because I'm helping out. I feel tight as shit. Like I'm not warmed up. So coming off the first game, you're loose.
Yeah.
The second half, it's gonna start to affect you. But I think the first half you can come out hot because you're warmed up. You just played a game. You got a game under your belt.
Yeah, I understand that.
Hopefully our guys' conditioning is good. We'll see. We haven't played a doubleheader. I know they're pretty tough.
They're tough. I mean, in our doubleheader, I was cramping. I mean, it's tough, man.
Yeah, I think the nights, typically we're going out on Saturdays drinking about 457 beers. I think this Saturday we might take the Saturday off. Might just have a little chill Saturday night, not be hungover showing up because we got 2 games this week.
Yeah. I mean, for some guys it helps.
I mean, Tanner last week, he had a hell of a Saturday night.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
he had a hell of a Sunday.
And he had a hell of a Sunday. So we might
Best
have
game of the year.
we might,
Tanner.
Hey, maybe you guys just kind of pace yourselves and just let Tanner throw him down.
we weren't pacing ourselves last Saturday. we were digging deep.
And you guys won.
And we won.
So,
Hey,
I mean,
maybe you got that Johnny Manziel factor.
Yeah.
The harder you party, the better you perform.
Thank God the games were moved back because the 3/5 of the Knights team didn't wake up till 11:30 on Sunday. So we might just try to take a chill pill this weekend.
Okay.
We got 2 games. But all right, I think now we're gonna move on to the callers.
who we got?
We got Big Dave loaded up first.
Nice. Think he's drinking tonight?
Every night.
Uh-oh.
Big Dave.
Dave, welcome to the pod.
Glad to be back.
Welcome back. You know the drill. Give us a hot take for the week.
So we'll say hot take. Based off of what I'm looking at here, I see the Cougs play the Feelers. Is that right?
That's correct.
That's correct.
Oh, looks like Connor's gonna shit his pants. Poor guy. Yeah, AJ again, and he's got a guard Tigers again. Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh my goodness, this is gonna be really bad. I mean, look at it. If you take away the 50-yard touchdown, 5 catches, 55 yards. Not very good for a proven player like that.
So, I mean, is it safe to say that you're calling Connor your baby game shitter of the week?
We'll add them together, man. That's
Okay.
it.
Wow.
All right, I like it. And then kind of our curveball question of the week. Who do you think is going to be the first guy in the RFL to get a DUI?
Well, let's see. Based off of the group chat, I would say Brandon, but I believe that's already happened.
Right, you might have the over on that one already.
I think I'm going to have to go with probably me. I have to take the front of that there. That's me.
You were the betting odds favorite.
You're kidding. Yeah, what is that, minus 10,000?
I believe it was somewhere in that range.
Oh, my God.
But if anything, that just makes me respect you more as a player.
I will make the RFO proud, and we will do that in the next few weeks.
Okay. Maybe at the RFL Honors, after the bowling alley.
Yeah. Do it after the season. Barons need you badly.
Yeah, they do.
Is it safe to say you've been consuming some beers tonight?
Let's just say we're about 4 in about 30 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, I'd say so.
It's a good start.
Yeah, the Cincy Lights are hitting great tonight.
Hey girl, we need to talk. I'm busy. You're MILF on the shelf. That's Mother I'd Like Fireside. I'm here to make sure that hardworking single MILFs like you prioritize shelf care during the holidays. So download Stir and check out all the single DILFs, because nobody deserves some good deck the halls like a parent overcompensating for their divorce. Find someone you'd like to fa la 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 on Stir.
All right, welcome back. Got our second caller up.
I believe this is Connor Adams, but he could throw us a curveball and it could be a random number.
Could be Marcus again.
I never know.
Yeah.
Hello?
Connor,
Yes, sir.
welcome to the frying pan.
I'm glad to be back.
Yes, you've been on before, so you know the drill. What's your hot take of the week?
My hot take of the week, the Feelers' downfall has just been so overhyped. I don't get it. This team is, we played a close game against the Barons. A couple plays, been a little different. We won. Knights, AJ subbing for him. So unfortunately, none like the Straw Hats. We don't get to play this Scarzy. So I think this team, the Feelers, are better than everyone thinks we are.
Okay.
Is it?
So is your hot take you're going to beat the Cougs this week?
I wouldn't go that far. I'd have to grab the frying pan if I was going to say that. But no, I wouldn't go that far. I think we can compete. I think we can do better than we did last time.
Okay.
All right, and then can we get your baby game shitter of the week for the upcoming week? One guy you think's gonna shit the bed.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with, don't take this the wrong way, Vince, but I think you get him in a tough matchup against Alex. He'll get guarded by against the Barons, probably Seth or Luke. Not easy. I'm gonna go with you.
Yeah, I'm really scared of those guys.
Alex can play some good defense. I think he's probably your most equal matchup.
Yeah, I know last time I really struggled against him. I only had 2 touchdowns, so. Now I will say he can cook me. I can't talk shit on defense because he will cook me, but I think I can hold my own on offense.
Sure.
Yeah, it'll be tough. Is this you guys have a doubleheader now?
Yeah, we have a doubleheader. I don't know who we play first. I really don't want to play them tired.
I think the double. I think the Straws play second. You play Straw Hats second. Whatever's the most advantageous for the Straw Hats, the scheduling committee decided to work that in. So
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Then final question we got for you here. Who do you think will be the first guy in the RFL to get a DUI?
And we're not counting ones that have already occurred.
No.
Correct.
Okay, I guess who will be the next person in the RFL to get a DUI? I'm gonna go with Dave. Yep, Dave picked himself, so
2 votes, Dave.
Yeah, I think it's tough because I think Dave can control it, but I feel like he's probably at risk. So I think it's probably fair.
All right, 2 votes for Dave. All right, Connor, thanks for calling into the pod.
Well, I'll see you guys this Sunday.
Yep. Good luck.
Oh wait, final question. Do you know who it was that talked shit about Tommy on the surveys? Because we've been trying to figure it out.
I generally do not know. I think my answers are pretty clear. I honestly don't know who did it. I have a feeling it was Zach.
Okay, I like that. That's
speaking suspicion. I think he's trying to get under everyone's skin. He's a coon. I would ask him, Staggers.
Okay.
If it was Zach,
I'll give him a call.
I'd respect the hell out of him for it.
Yeah. I don't know if he's got it in him. He's never been mean in his life.
He's got that secret dog in him. You'll see.
All right.
Connor, the special guest here, has one question for you as well. As a fellow feeler, what do you feel is our best chance of beating the Cougs? What do you think we need to do?
I think we just got to score every time.
Yeah, and what do you think about defense?
1 or 2 stops, but I think we just got to score. That's our problem. I think we're good at getting the ball in the field against the Barons and the Knights. We got the ball to the end of the field. We just could not, a couple of times on the goal line, we just couldn't get it in. I think that's the biggest thing.
All right, I'll take that in, and hopefully we can build off of that.
We will.
Thanks for coming on, Connor.
Yeah. Have a good night, guys.
See you, man. I think your guys' best bet is probably having you on Stikes, or either you at safety and then Charlie on Stikes.
So that's what I was thinking.
You're
I was
gonna have to
thinking me at safety,
coming over the top.
coming over the top and just helping where I can. That way we don't get beat deep. Because I feel if I play safety, if we can keep them in front, I feel like I have a better chance of catching one of them.
Yeah.
To where if I have to try and chase them down, it's not going to be good.
Right.
Because obviously I'm out there in gym shoes getting my ankles broken.
Right. And you at least have the link to where you could maybe contend and knock some of those down.
I think you could be a good safety.
I guess you put Coyle on
Zach.
on Logan.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I think Coyle's faster than Connor.
Yeah.
And put Connor on Zach. Zach's fast too. That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It just sucks. I wish we had like another.
You need another guy for sure.
Maybe if you had Logan on your team.
Be a different story. For sure.
I know.
All right, let's see. Do we got anyone left? I think fucking
AJ sleepy, man?
did AJ put his number in here?
He just said he would call earlier.
Fuck, you're recording. Mark, you want to try to call AJ?
I can try to call him. He's probably really confused to see me calling him at 11:20.
Maybe I'll get a DUI tonight. Just kidding, I live here.
Kamish, also known as Hitler.
Can't put that on the airwaves. What does that make you? I think they got a name for those guys that are supporting him.
Can't say. I don't look like one.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you...
Your call has been
Kamish might be playing Among Us right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like we were playing Among Us earlier with Connor there.
Yeah.
Felt like it. Trying to decide, or trying to figure out who hates Tommy.
Yeah, there's an imposter in the league.
There is.
That's fair.
I still think it was Connor. I think he was trying to throw us off the trail, throw Zachy under the bus.
I think so. I don't think Zach would ever do that.
Yeah, I feel like Zach was like the worst shout you could make.
Yeah.
Zach's also the kind of guy, I think if he was going to do it, he'd do it to your face.
Yeah.
He's a stand-up guy.
I disagree with that.
Clanky gave us Luke's number, I think, but he said he won't answer, so
No point.
no point. I think that's it.
Okay. That's fine.
Well, no. Oh, wait, this might be Clanky's number. Clanky gave us 2 numbers, so we'll call the second one.
Okay.
Let's see if they answer. I don't know who this is. I probably should start saving phone numbers at some point.
Just one of the like random moms from the league.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be awesome. We have to do a three-way call with Connor.
Not having much luck with the callers. Got an extra.
Your call has been forwarded.
All right.
What was that? Oh, looks like he's banging a hooker right now.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Checks out.
Understood.
Okay, past the callers, we got RFL team comp. So just give me a couple. We don't have to do every team, but give me a couple teams and compare them to a beer.
Okay. You want to lead us off? Yeah.
Well, you want me to just do one team, or you want me to do like how I feel for each team and what I think that fits in best?
You can do every team if you
That
can.
works, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll start top of the chain. Good old Miller Lite. Got to give it to the Cougs. I wish I could say the Feelers, but I'll get to them shortly. Yeah. Miller Lite for the Cougs. I feel like that's just top of the line.
I feel like Miller Lite's just a reliable beer.
Yeah.
You're going to come out, they're going to perform. The only thing I would say, like, I would disagree about it is I don't necessarily think the Cougs are nationally liked.
Yeah.
Where Miller Lite is, but
Fair.
I agree with your statement.
Then second in the league right now is the Barons. Probably give that a Coors Light. I'm not a huge fan of Coors Light. I feel like it's got days where it's like I'm riding with them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's up there. It could compete with Miller Lite. And there's days where it's like, what am I drinking right now?
Yeah.
I mean, personally, from my experience, today I had a Miller Lite and a Coors Light. I drank the Miller, loved every second of it.
Yeah.
Couple sips of Coors, it was good at first, but now I'm just like, I don't know if I really want it. So,
Understood. With the Knights, I feel that they're kind of underrated at this point because they haven't had their actual full squad out there yet. So an underrated beer. I would say Michelob. I mean, I'm not going into a gas station saying I'm gonna get some beer. I'm gonna get a Michelob.
Right.
But like if it's there, I'm drinking it, and I'm not disappointed about it. It's not a bad beer.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very underrated. You know, not many people were gonna walk up and they'd be like, "That's the beer I want."
Yeah, fair.
Then we'll go with the Feelers. Feeling like Natty Light Yeah, that's very, very fitting for the Steelers right now. We're not the best, but we, you know, you can work with us. And, you know, as every high school out there loves cheap beer, a bunch of them. And
in high school, everyone loves the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah,
let's be real.
That's what I'm saying.
It's got tits in it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you did have a high schooler name in the team, so.
Yeah.
Don't remind me. And lastly, we'll go with the Straw Hats. I don't know like a good comparison for them. Do you guys have anything you want to butt in on with them, maybe?
I would say for the Straw Hats, maybe not a beer, but maybe some
maybe like a White Claw?
Maybe a White Claw. I was thinking along the lines of maybe like an anime girl's pee.
Oh, wow. You went even further. All right.
Yeah. I don't know if that's alcoholic, but I just think it would fit the branding.
Yeah, I would agree.
Or maybe like some OnlyFans girl's bathwater.
Yeah. I was thinking like sake.
Sake?
Oh.
Yeah. Could fit the brand.
Yeah.
That fits the brand very well, yeah.
I was also thinking for the Feelers, I'm thinking more of like a Corona.
Huh?
And here's what I'm thinking. I think a Corona's not good without the lime. You're the lime. The Feelers are not good without the lime. They're not good without Mark Clark.
I appreciate that, and honestly, I would take your comparison over the one that I gave. I don't disagree with that at all.
Personally, for the Feelers, I would go with Miller Lite. Hear me out.
Oh God, I'm scared.
It's only half of a Miller Lite, and while you were in the bathroom, someone went and pissed in the other half of the Miller Lite. So you have high hopes for it, but then you take a drink and it's piss. That's the Feelers right now. You know, maybe the second half of the season is the beer part, but the first half of the season has been the piss part of the beer.
Yeah.
I don't disagree there.
You gotta get past the piss before you actually get to the beer.
The piss is sitting on top of the beer. Yeah. It's kind of like a layered shot.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we get the last of the piss out against the Cougs this week, and then we can get to the beer.
Yeah. The night I'm gonna go with Guinness because I'm gonna go with it's kind of a weird choice, but just like a Guinness or our first couple weeks, it wasn't that good. So maybe like the first time it's like an acquired taste.
Yeah.
The nights are an acquired taste. The first Guinness, you're like, this is kind of weird. This is kind of gross, but get a little bit older, you drink a couple more, like it's an acquired taste. They grow on you. Mm-hmm. I think that's what the Knights are doing. We're growing as a team. We looked pretty shitty the first couple weeks. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we can continue.
I would agree. Yeah.
Barons, I don't know why, but I just want to say Busch Light. I don't have a particular reason.
Is it Dave?
It might be Dave. I don't know if that's what he drinks, but it just seems like
I can see him being a Busch Light.
It just seems on brand.
It does.
Dave, you'll have to let us know your beer of choice. Take that how you want, but they just seem like Busch Light vibes.
Yeah. He's gritty.
It is a gritty. Beer. It's a grinder beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Cougs, whatever. Ice cold beer, I guess. Something nice.
Something you just find in a cooler on a hot summer day.
A keg draft.
Yeah. Something delicious. You could also questionably call the Feelers, because of their name and possible allegations against them, it could be a beer that someone roofied.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You know about it.
I have been roofied before. It's not a good. Shout out Stadium Social. If you work there, go fuck yourself. But anyways, I think we're gonna move on to the surveys next.
Yeah.
These should be entertaining. Let the ass clowns of the league kind of tee off, give their opinions nobody cares about. Overrated player of the week. So, congrats to me. I won overrated player of the week. Mark, I know you had potentially one of the people that voted me for overrated player of the week.
I am one of the ones that voted
one of 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I felt that Vince was overrated in the sense that he just cooked Charlie. I don't think that's an impossible thing to do. Don't get me wrong. He did see the end zone a lot, but I don't think many of them were like crazy long touchdowns. They were little gimmies from like 5 to 10 yards. So I don't think there's anything special. I feel I look more for the flashy plays and the big plays where you're making moves or you're catching a bomb or something. But don't get me wrong. I know you had a good ass week because you still got 12 catches?
Yeah, I think it was like 12, 150, 4 touchdowns, something like that.
Yeah, so that's still an amazing week. He did better than me, so I can't say a whole lot. But in terms of what the stance I just gave, that's why I felt he was most overrated. Because it was enough to give him player of the week, and I don't know if that was... I feel like it got kind of pushed up because he saw the 4 touchdowns. But
I think it's hard because it's really with any matchup. It's like if you put anyone against the worst defender in the league, they're gonna cook them. Yeah. They probably got a shot at player of the week because they had the best stats. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I mean, I can't lie and say it was hard for me to do what I did. I mean, I was probably open damn near every play. Mm-hmm. I will say there wasn't a lot of room for over the top plays because there was safety help, so that was why I was kind of just taking where I could get.
Get down to Hooters, have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
All right, guys, coming back from a commercial break, I believe we just showed you a Hooters commercial featuring Klanke's mom. All right, moving on. Underrated player of the week. Looks like we're gonna have Luke and Big Dan tied. So I think Big Dan, he had a really good week. We talked about he had like 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was flirting with the all-time catch record.
Wow.
So I think it's like 19. 18 ties it, 19 breaks it. Yep. And he had 15. So he was flirting with that. Pretty impressive. Luke, I honestly don't know what he did because
he had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, I would say I feel like the reason why the name said underrated is simply because of the improvement he made in catching the ball.
That's true.
I would agree.
So I feel like that's probably why they said that, because as we saw in previous weeks, it wasn't looking very good for him in terms of catching the ball.
Yeah, I was filming that game, but I don't think he had any drops I can remember. It seemed like he caught most of the shit thrown his way, so, good game out of Luke. I do remember he had a couple longer catches now that I'm remembering. Yep. Also, we'll throw Connor in there. He got 2 votes. I know he had 3 touchdowns against us, so he's probably the leading receiver for the Steelers, question mark. Yeah, probably. So, solid game out of Connor. Coyle got a vote. AJ got a couple votes, so.
Well, love.
Man, I might just chill tonight.
Puppy monkey baby. 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 Puppy monkey baby.
Mountain Dew Kickstart. Dew, juice, caffeine.
Alright, Stike's phone's fucked. Anyways, we're gonna try to get through the rest of this shit fast. Dirtbag of the Year favorite. Congrats, Stikes. You won the vote. Anything?
Give it to me.
Alright. Hot take. So, there's a couple funny ones in here we'll cover. I'm gonna read this one verbatim. Mark is a huge pussy who cries about everything and threatens to leave the league when he doesn't get his way. Mark, if you have anything to say about that one?
Wow.
Alright guys, Stike's phone keeps fucking up because he's got way too much anime porn on there. Shout out Straw Hats. Alright, that's been it for the pod. You guys got anything?
Any last remarks?
No, I'm ready for the rest of the season. I hope Felix can turn it around, and I hope the Knights can maybe turn it around, and we can hopefully take down this guy at some point this season.
Hey, hashtag feel us. Mark, it's great having you on the pod. Appreciate you saving the day.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
We'll see you guys next week.